Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Anna Morfidis here with Mending Hearts Counseling. And in today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about this concept of not being chosen in a relationship by that particular person that you are involved with and whom you wish to see a romantic relationship or even any other relationship really to flourish out of. So I was listening to this speaker, I forget what his name is, but he said something super powerful. He said, you know when a relationship is not right for you or it's not going to work if the other person is not choosing you. And then that was just so powerful for me, and not only to help myself, but people that I work with. It is so true. Like, we know what it feels like to not be chosen. Like, perhaps they're not choosing to call you back, or they're choosing not to take you out on the weekend. They're choosing their friends over you. They're choosing to work more as opposed to hanging out with you. They're choosing to use mean words towards you, or sometimes even like physical violence. Like, you know, by the choices that people make towards you and how they choose to be with you, that's a compass to like what is not working. And as hard and enlightening it was to hear that, I kind of wanted to talk about the background of that, though, what it actually means when someone is not choosing you. This is actually done to your favor. So everything that is done in the universe is actually for us, not against us. When we think this way, we can actually take ourselves out of victim role and see why things happen the way that they do. I don't understand still why the universe has decided to give us lessons this way, but we all have them, varying in degrees and severity. But we are all here to learn certain lessons. And now that we know about attachment theory, so there's 4 different types of attachment. So when we are young, up until the age of 10 years old, we attach to our primary caregiver. Then after that, we attach to our peers when we're adolescents. And then past adolescence, so after 24, and on, then we attach to our romantic partners. But the way that we attach to our romantic partners is going to reflect the way that we attach to our caregivers. So only 3 out of the 4 attachment styles produce a positive self-view. Did I say that right? 1 of the 4 attachment styles produces a positive self-view. The other 3 produce a negative self-view, which means somebody like myself, so my attachment style was anxious. So the anxious, the disorganized is about 1% of the population, and it represents like the psychopaths, the ones that are completely dissociated from their soul energy, which is unconditional love, and they can't register emotion, etc., etc. And then there's the avoidant style. So those 3 produce a negative self-view, which means your self-worth is going to be beyond the floor, like into the earth where it cannot even be reached. Everything will be interpreted by you as your fault. You're not good enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not worthy enough. Nothing enough. And it's not your fault. Like, literally 3 out of the 4 attachment styles produce this negative self-view. And unfortunately, 45% of the population is in that category. The other 65% of the population, so then it'd be 35. 35% of us have a negative self-view, and then there's a 65% that have a positive self-view because they were able to experience secure attachment when they were a child. And that's not to blame our parents or anything, but this knowledge was just not really readily available to us back then. So now that we know about attachment styles, we make sure to make our children feel safe, seen, secure, and soothed. That's what it takes for someone to give their child a secure attachment style, so therefore they can look for that later on in their lifestyle. But if you were like me, I had an anxious attachment style where you got in trouble for everything. And, you know, like in the village, there was like physical abuse and verbal abuse. So I carried that with me into my adult years. So my relationships reflected that self-worth. I felt I didn't feel like I was worth anything more than that. So when my partner was choosing everything else but me, now I understand why that was happening, because it was reflecting back to me who I was deep inside, because we date who we are, not what we want. So even though I wanted someone to give me everything, I didn't feel like I deserved everything on the inside. So I had to work on my self-worth and change my attachment style. And the way that we change our self-worth is by positive affirmations. So what I was given to do is these daily sayings that I had to say to myself in front of the mirror. And it actually really worked. And I'm going to share them with you because you can do this on your own. If you feel like your attachment style is one that produces a negative self-view, and now you feel like you're not being chosen in your relationship, somewhere deep inside, you're not choosing you. So we're always being reflected back to us what is like in lack from within. So you're not choosing yourself somewhere. Maybe you're choosing to be with the wrong person, or you're choosing the wrong job, or you're choosing to be letting someone treat you a certain type of way. So we're going to get the power back, and we're going to change the way that we choose us. And the only way to know is like when those uncomfortable feeling comes in a relationship. So basically we want to also send that person gratitude, because without them, we wouldn't raise our self-worth, and we wouldn't be able to attain everything that we are meant to attain in this life, because the earth and the universe is abundant. It wants to give you everything. You have to believe it. No, I shouldn't say have to. It will be to your best interest to believe it, and then it can be yours. And by raising our self-worth and our self-confidence, then we're going to raise that belief as well. And it's constant work. Like, I've done all this work, but boom, like a couple weeks ago, something happens and I'm thrown off my course a little bit. And then I have to go back in, and I have to like, I realized that I was like attaching again in a negative way. So then I start to try to figure out how to help myself. So I would Google on YouTube meditation to raise my confidence, and I would do that. I started journaling again and like writing out, like literally writing out like, I am amazing, I am beautiful, I am worth everything, I am good enough. Who am I not to trust the universe? And then I would look at myself in the mirror and like repeat those again over and over. And then, just do meditation to fill my heart with unconditional love, first for self, no judgment for me. And, sometimes I stumble and I fall off my gratitude wagon or my power whore, and that's okay too. Like, I give myself time and then I get back on it. So if I can help you do the same, just as others helped me, I would love to share these affirmations with you. So choose you. And this is what you can say to yourself. I can say it slow enough that you can hear it and write it down, and then you can repeat it. So they do say at least 21 days continuously in order for something to be integrated into your system. Remember, this is like a lifetime of being a certain way. So there's various studies say between 21 to 60 days of saying the same thing over and over in order for that new synapse and signal to be integrated into your nervous system, because all of our neurons just fire information that has been stored in our mind already and our body. So but the first affirmation that I would say is, I am Anna. So you can put your own name in there. I have the power to change my life and take it to the direction I choose. I will not allow others to make me feel anything less than this. I rely on myself and know who I am. I thank the universe for helping me remain confident in my fears. I am Anna. So as you say that, you can also answer the following questions after you read that to yourself first. So the first question would be, do you treat yourself as you treat others? This is a really big one. Because sometimes I find that I am so less judgmental. Well, I don't really use judgment anymore, actually. I've gotten rid of judgment. But I would be so much more judgy on myself than I would be on others. If somebody made a mistake, I would be like, oh, it's totally okay. This is so normal. This is how we learn. It's part of our human experience. We choose something and then we don't, and then we realize if that works for us or not based on the way we feel after, and that's okay. But for myself, my thoughts would be like, oh, you're such a loser. Like, what an idiot. How could you do that again? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, I would never speak like that to my friends. Why am I speaking like this to myself? So instead of saying that, I'd go back to, hey, Anna, like, it's okay. You were doing the best that you can with what you had at that given moment in time. That always seems to work for me. It's okay. You were doing the best that you could in that given moment in time, because every day we just learn a bit more, grow a bit more. So forgive yourself. There's also really good meditations on YouTube about forgiving yourself. I also found that really helped me. If there was like a scenario in my mind that I kept visiting over and over and I was not able to let go because I would feel guilt and shame about how I affected somebody else, I love these, and they're very quick, like 10 minutes. Forgiveness to self meditations. And it really seems to work because it takes you back into that scenario, and your mind doesn't know. You can give yourself the recreative experience of apologizing to that person and to yourself and just letting go of the guilt and shame. Next question, are you friends with yourself? This is really important. I'm not sure if I was able to really hang out with myself before, but now I love just hanging out with myself. I don't really have FOMO anymore. FOMO, like fear of missing out. I can be with my books, with my thoughts, because they're not so bothersome as they used to be, and I don't need other things to escape them. So that's a really beautiful thing to achieve, is to be able to be friends with yourself. Are you comfortable in your own skin? I know that we come in all different shapes and sizes. How do you feel about your own skin? Do you look at yourself and criticize? Like, I used to do this all the time. Look at this, look at that, and who's gonna love me if I have this? And how am I? It's ridiculous. Like, we would never speak like that to our friends. So why are we doing it to ourselves? Look at yourself in the mirror and love every single part of you. Say it out loud, write it on a sticky note, especially the parts that are the ones that are more challenging. I feel like for me was probably like my lower belly area, especially after I had children. And I had to give that part of myself the most love. So love the part of yourself that makes you feel the most uncomfortable with. Give it the most love, because that's where it needs it. Do you want to be happy? Happiness is a choice. Now, I know there's like a lot of people that go and give seminars about being above the line and below the line. We are wired to be below the line. Most of our predominant emotions that come in produce negative feelings. So it's a choice to be happy. If you remember the emotions, sadness, disgust, anger, fear, and happiness, it's a choice to be here and have these feelings. The rest are always producing feelings that are uncomfortable and not necessarily desirable. So it's a choice to be happy each and every day. Remember this, we are wired to be below the line. So to be above the line, it is a choice that we make every day. So the power is in your hands. Next question. Do you wish to be in a fulfilled relationship? So we're also wired for connection. So even when we're kids, we attach to caregivers, and we attach to peers, then we attach to a romantic partner. To get to the ultimate relationship with somebody else, you are, I don't want to say you need to. The way to get there is for you to get into the most fulfilling relationship with yourself. And you achieve that by raising your self-confidence, your self-worth, having beautiful beliefs about yourself. You can do anything, you can be anything, you can achieve anything. You are beautiful, you are perfect, you are amazing, you are whole and complete, you are unconditional love. Life is beautiful. I choose to be happy every day. I do my gratitude so I can get out of my, challenging funk of life that is presented to us each and every day. Happiness is a choice. And when we fulfill our own heart and self, then we can get that reflected back to us by somebody else. And, hang out with friends that you love, have a job that you love to do. You can change anything. Don't have any fear. Like, fear is man-made. We're born to be unconditionally loving for self and for others. And next question, can you do this work? Can you do your gratitude? Can you choose to be happy every day? And I know it's hard. Actually, I don't want to use hard. I know it takes time and effort, but if it takes time and effort to like sit in our challenging and miserable thoughts, why not choose this? So let's choose it together today and do, you know, the affirmations that I read before. And another really good affirmation also to raise your self-worth. So that one was for your self-confidence. This one will be for your self-worth. And thank you to Carol Mary, who gifted these to me. I did tweak them a little bit because I put everything in present tense. So when you make an affirmation and you put it in present tense, it's like you're experiencing it in this moment. So instead of saying things like, I am learning to love myself, I reframe it to I now have learned to love myself. I love myself. Like in present tense, it's happening right now because we don't want it to be out there. We want it to be right here, right now. So this one goes, I am Anna. I am beautiful. Okay, this is the one I changed. I am now in the knowing I am enough. And today is the day I believe this and every day forward. I now know I am enough. And today is the day that I believe this and every day forward. I am enough. I am happy in my own skin. I am strong and I have unlimited self-worth. My self-worth is abundant. My self-worth is spilling over me and it is being shared with others. We are all worth everything. We are worth everything. Don't ever forget that. I am the leader in showing others how I treat myself. And this beautiful treatment is reflected back to me in all of my relationships. So we show others how to treat us based on how we treat ourselves. So make a choice to change the way you treat yourself today and moving forward if you happen to have an attachment style that reflected something like mine. I'd love to hear your experiences. Please, if you want, put it in the comment box below or email me. All my contact information is below in the comment box. If you like the video, please like. And if you want to see more, please subscribe. Again, send you my love and my gratitude. And remember that everything is happening for you, not to you. Everything is happening for you and to better you. And once you do raise your self-worth, just have the knowing. And if you have the courage to like exit a relationship that's not working for you or a job or anything, if it's meant to come back to you to match your new vibration after you do your self-confidence and your self-worth, you better believe it's going to come back to you. But don't have an attachment to it. Just know if that's going to be meant for you, it's going to come in. But you have to let it go in order for that to come in again with a new vibration or for something greater, because there's always going to be that or something greater when you do your work. Okay, so have that knowing. You make a space. So you choose you. If somebody else is not choosing you, you choose you. You go and you do your own thing. You choose to leave and you choose to live your best life. In the meantime, you do your affirmations, hang with your friends. You change your job if you have to. Whatever you need to do, you do it for you. And you just let the universe gift you who you are changing to be. And it could be that person or somebody else, and you never know. But whatever it is, it's going to be great as you are. Okay, so I'll see you next time.